Murder style, y'all.
Insanity, insanity, whatever happened to humanity? Ooh.
Ladies and gentlemen, when was the last time I did a movie review and I had to stand up? Normally I sit down when I do movie reviews, but I had to stand up on this one because my chair is broke. Wait, do y'all want to see? Well, there we go. But don't worry, my chair is literally getting fixed as we speak. So when I do my next movie review, I should be sitting on my ass. And my ass needs a rest right now. I did like 5 videos and I am literally tired. I'm so tired. I'm so tired, but I have enough energy to squeeze out one review, and we are going to talk about Smile 2. I didn't think I would be reviewing this movie, but this movie was so fucking good, I have to review it. I have to review it. Calm down with the Mickey Mouse voice, please. I geek out when I talk like this, in a good and a bad way. Smile 2 is a 2024 psychological American horror film that has been written and directed by Parker Finn. Almost forgot the last name. The end. About to embark on a new world tour, global pop sensation Sky Riley begins to experience increasingly and paranormal events. Overwhelmed by the escalating horrors and pressures of fame, she must face her dark past to regain control of her life before it spirals out of control.
I've been waiting for you.
This movie was great. This movie was fantastic. This movie had me on the edge of my seat from start to finish. I haven't felt this immersed until, well, from when it comes to this year's of horror. Okay, it's been a minute since, let's go back to Alien Romulus. When I've seen Alien Romulus, I was skeptical. I was literally concerned because it's like, you know what, how can you take a great franchise, and even though they had some duds, but how can you take a good franchise like Alien and bring it back here and make it great? I didn't think that would be possible. Gladiator 2 can prove that, but for some reason, Alien has proved me wrong. And if we can go even further than that, Long Legs. Long Legs. I reviewed it. Check the link. That's all I gotta say. But I was concerned with Smile 2 because the way how Smile was. I love Smile. If I'll have to rate Smile, the first one, I'll have to give it a solid A. That movie was great. Story was good. Choreography was great. Character development was phenomenal. I cared about the characters. The scares was very good. When it comes to psychological horror, when it comes to fucking with your psychology, when it comes to scares, it's hard for you to make us believe what's going on. And when it comes to Smile, they did it perfectly. Especially when it comes to the entity of the demon itself, by just using the smile gesture to make us creeped out. And normally when it comes to possession horror films like this, normally when a person is acting negative, that's when we get triggered. But they decide to do a whole 180 and be like, you know, how about we make a character smile in a creepy way? It make people feel uncomfortable. They nailed it with the first one. And that's the reason why I was scared about this one. But not only that this movie proved me wrong and made me feel comfortable, but I still wasn't comfortable because this movie was so damn good. I would highly recommend you guys to watch this one, but if you haven't seen the first one, you need to watch the first one to check this one out so that immersion can build up tension so you can feel more like I do. This movie was so good. This movie was fantastic. I need my chair. I need my fucking chair. The movie picks up at a very fast and immersive pace. It takes place basically right after the first one, by giving us immersed chills, by giving us a very, very chilling introduction of the second one. Now, they didn't need no slow drawbacks. They didn't need no slow pacing, no slow burns, because they already did that in the first one. So by the second one starting off so quick, so fast, to the point where if you blink, they will already show you the Smile 2 logo. I was hooked in. I was like, okay, if we're already doing this, if we're already getting hit with blows, bro, I want to see this. And I think that's how sequels should work. If y'all first project was great, y'all have to bring y'all A game. And that's what Parker Finn did. He did well with this introduction. So, again, if you people want to see the second one without seeing the first one, that's for doing that. Go watch the first one first so y'all can know exactly how the second one connects. After that, we are introduced to the main character that is going to continue this whole project from start to finish. And the main character is Naomi Scott. Now, I'm going to have to say, Naomi Scott, that plays the actress, her character was great. I like it when characters play a role that I really can't see other people playing. Now, to be fair, I'm pretty sure other characters probably would have done a good job, but with Naomi Scott, she owned it. It felt like she took her character so seriously to the point where no one else would have taken a very serious role like her. And I understand, because I don't really know much about Riley Scott's projects. And I feel like for people to take your acting seriously, you have to take your own career seriously. And she nailed it out of the park. By her playing as this tormented pop actress, and not just by her being tormented by the whole entity itself, but even before that, while she goes through a bad traumatic phase that really questions her whole authority of her performing and her doing these songs to begin with. And by her even being interviewed let me pause this for a minute. The reason I have to pause this, because even by me reviewing this shit caught me off guard. By her being interviewed by Drew Barrymore in a Drew Barrymore show really pulled me and a lot of people like on the edge of our seat, and it made her seem like relatable when she was talking about her traumatic experience. And it really affected her career to the point where she did drugs, and it costed almost her whole life, and it took her a while and over a year for her to start over. It pulled me into the point where it was like, you know what, this is a character that is already tarnished. This is a character that's already on a verge of breaking, and she is slowly trying to start everything over. So it made me realize, how was this going to work with her? This is before like the entity even takes over. So I'm like, you know what? I don't know if this is gonna end well with this character, because normally when horror movie starts off, it starts off with a family that is trying to do things right by them not even having any type of horror tropes to begin with. No bad experiences, and normally bad experiences happen when the entity or when the main premise of the whole film takes a toll into the main character's perspectives. But with Naomi Scott's character, and I really felt that it was a lot of weight on her character for her to try to get through this trauma with her dark past, and then with this happening, it was really, really a jaw-dropping experience on this whole project to begin with. And this is what I liked about this film. And I understand that people may not like Naomi Scott's character because she was a bitch. She was an asshole towards certain people, her fans and her, her family, her mother and her friends and stuff. But it was relatable. That's actually how people in Hollywood is. They will live, like, how many times have y'all heard stories of people like Harrison Ford or even Will Smith? They're even saying that Will Smith is a dick in real life.
Will Smith is a twat.
Oh, I liked him.
Will Smith has been hiding the fact of who he really is, and it was exposed that night. He's really an asshole. But he's a deep, dark thing. To do that in front of all those people, and to a really great, legendary comedian who's literally the best comedian of our generation.
Sure.
You wouldn't have, like, this whole wave of comedy that came after if it wasn't for Chris Rock. He's kicked open the doors. So for him to do that, but I wasn't allowed to say anything at that time because we were part of the committee. I
Right.
was supposed to punish him.
And how do you punish him?
Wow, wait. Just back up a second. Hang on.
I wanna know what
Will
the punishment
Smith is like, for me, when I met him, right, I always say.
Like the nicest,
yes,
most wonderful. He's a
yeah.
liar. Complete, utter fraud.
But it's because of the pressure. It's because of what they have to go through behind closed doors. And that's what I liked about Naomi Scott's character is the fact that they show you the aspects of how she is out the camera. And when she is in the camera, she literally has to like fake that she is literally like cool with everybody. But when that camera is off, man, she shows signs of her experience when she went through before all this shit ended up happening. And I liked that a lot. It made me really feel as if this character is realistic. Oscar-worthy performance. Pretty soon after that, this is when we're introduced to the horror itself, the scares and the entity itself. When the entity begins to take over and begins to fuck with Naomi Scott's character, this is when I was like, okay, let's see how this is going to work. Let's see if the stress, the traumatic experiences, and the horror factor will all mix together. Because they did well with the pacing. They did well with the execution, the choreography. So let's see how the scares is going to take full control. And I'm going to have to say, if you guys have watched the movie Perfect Blue, watched Hereditary, watch The Babadook, you're going to get all that on the second half of this film when she gets possessed. They're all good films. They're all masterpieces in my opinion. And you get all that on this part. Psychology fucks with this woman. Vision fucks with this woman. And the scares really made me... It actually made me regret watching this movie because it's been a long time since I watched the film and I felt so attached to the characters, believability of what they're going through to the point where I had trouble sleeping at night. And I had trouble sleeping at night watching fucking Smile 2. And I really felt sorry for Naomi Scott. And the reason why I'm saying that is because when she was going through these phases, going through these horror psychology scenes to the point where this entity was really fucking with her, it was hard for her to convince other people what she was going through. And it was even to the point where people was even asking her, are you on drugs again? Are you using certain type of drug medication right now? Like, and it even made the audience, including myself, think like, maybe this is drugs fucking with her. Because there were some points on the film that kind of didn't really make any sense unless you did some critical thinking and you'd be like, you know what, it was the entity doing this shit to her. And if you watch the first Smile, you know that it was all the entity doing that shit to the main protagonist. But on this one, I guess the director knew that we was coming in hard and strong on this. So he wanted us to think that maybe it's the drugs this time. Or maybe it's just her own psychology making her overthink. Or maybe it is the entity itself. Or maybe it's all the above. Because the way how entity and demonic possession works is the fact that it feeds on negative energy. And the more you are consumed with drug activity, the weaker the mind becomes. And maybe the entity took so much control to the point where it decided to fuck with her from start to finish. That's just my theory about it. That's just how I feel. I could be wrong, but that's why I liked this film so much, because it had me and it had my wife and other people thinking after they ended the whole film. And the scares. I didn't put that much emphasis on the scares because I was so hooked on the psychology itself. The scares will fuck with you. Scares will haunt you. My only regret about this film is the fact that they show a lot of good scares on the trailers that they shouldn't even fucking show. There was even some scares that they showed on TikTok. It's like, dude, why would you do that? Like, if I was a director and a producer, I understand if y'all made the first one and y'all want to have asses on the seat by risking certain scares that y'all don't want to show, but y'all got to put in the trailer so people can watch it. But Smile 2 was already a big budget release, so people are already going to watch it. So y'all should have just showed less. And it kind of fell flat because there was a lot of great scares that was ruined on the trailers, and the buildup was very well executedly done. That's the reason why I don't fuck with trailers like that, but I have to use trailers to show scenes on my review videos. And honestly, let's be fair here. when it comes to scares, it's all subjective. It's like, what does scare you? What does horrify you? What does make you not sleep at night? So this film has a mixture of all. It has a mixture of psychological horror. It has a feel of jump scares. It has the feel of tension. It has a feel of claustrophobia. It has a feel of uncomfortableness. And above all, they do work perfectly. But let's just say, in my opinion, the scares was all warranted to the point where I don't think this movie needed any jump scares. I don't think it did. There was some good jump scares here, but I don't think that those jump scares should have been in this film. I think that the film could have did well with the tension and build up in psychology. That's just my opinion about it. I feel like jump scares can scare anybody. I can jump in the fucking screen right now and scare you, but no. It's easy. It's fucking easy. Wrapping this project up, I guess they decided to pull like a full 180 into the whole film itself by giving us a small little twist, by giving us a closure to the twist as well. Now, this is where it divided me. And the reason I'm saying that is because the way how the film ended, it ended in a way where I thought it was great. I thought the ending was jaw-dropping. I thought the ending was shocking. And above all, it made me feel as if, damn, we're fucked. We are so fucked. But the way how we got there wasn't warranted because it was too rushed. I feel like if we had more downplay to how we got there, then it would have won me over 100%. So my theory is this. This is just how I feel about it. The ending, I loved it. I love the way how it ended. But how we got there, no. Too fast, too rushed. If I blinked 3 times, credits would have rolled already. But overall, this movie was great. It was good. I cannot wait to watch it. I cannot wait to watch it again. And I might even check out the first one again just so I can have a more sharper intellect of why I like the Smile series so much. Now, let's be fair here. I talked about the ending. The way how this ending produced, I hope they don't make a Smile 3. Because the way how it ended, y'all gonna fuck it up. Y'all gonna fuck it up. I feel like endings like this, y'all really pulled an Alfred Hitchcock on this shit. Don't do it. Don't do it. Please, don't do it. I don't care how big the budget is. I don't care how successful this film is. I don't care how much money y'all made on this film. How about y'all just make a series? It'll be a good series if I make a Smile series. Or make another project. Or make a prequel. But don't continue. Don't go further. Please don't. Just leave it. Leave it like this. This ending ended strong. It ended bold. And I didn't have a problem with it at all. I know they're gonna fuck it up. That's the reason why I'm dragging it. Because I know they're gonna fuck this shit up. I know they're gonna fuck it up. I know they're going to. We just can't have good things, unfortunately. I'm gonna have to give Smile 2 an A-. 2 problems, knocking down 2 points. I think that's fair. Damn, it's been 16 minutes already? Jesus Christ. But that's all I have to say for today. Please stay tuned for my upcoming reviews and videos headed your way. This is Hugo, your critic teacher. And I hope you all have a good day.